As you guys all like to know, we like to talk about Bills, ball, and force. Julian, let's start off with the Buffalo Bills. I know we didn't have a Thanksgiving Day episode. Sorry, we had a couple technical difficulties, so mind us. We'll get that fixed up. We'll be ready for winter break, fast approaching here. But let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. They come into this weekend coming off a really strong second half performance against the Steelers, winning 26-7, I believe.
Yep, 26-7.
Yeah,
Really that putrid offense of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Not no diss against the Steelers, but like it was really bad.
really bad. And they're coming into a game against a defense that's highly regarded as the worst defense in the NFL.
Right.
And it was between them and the Cowboys, and the Cowboys have kind of moved off that. But no, the Bengals, they're going to face this 4-8 Bengals team. Bengals, one of the worst defenses in the NFL, maybe the worst.
Yeah.
They have a whole bunch of issues inside, but they have a glimpse of hope. They won the Thanksgiving night, more accurately to say.
Yeah.
And beat, a really kind of impressive Ravens team. Start off really bad for the Ravens, 1-5 record, and then came into Thanksgiving with a 6-5 record, and they finally lost their first game after going on a run. So Bengals, kind of some hope here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the upcoming game?
Really, like you just point out, that defense is not good at all. And in particular, it would be nice for the Bills to get Dalton Kincaid back because the Bengals are the worst defense against tight ends this season in the NFL, giving up over 1,000 yards and over 10 touchdowns to tight ends this season, which is by far the worst in the NFL. So I think obviously this Bengals defense is something for the Bills offense to kind of get that passing game back on track per se, on paper. But I really think, the key to this is stopping that Bengals offense, which having Joe Burrow back, he didn't look the greatest against the Ravens, but you could definitely tell
he still looks strong.
He manages the game a lot better than, let's say, a Joe Flacco. Like he can dink and dunk and really manage a game. And obviously, granted, he's coming off of a turf toe, which he's still kind of playing.
Recovering, yeah.
We saw on the sideline, he was wearing Jordans and like shoes on the sideline, and then he would go into cleats back on the offense. So stopping that offense is definitely going to be the key. In particular, Jamar Chase obviously is a great receiver, and Jamar Chase against Christian Bedford matchup, it's definitely going to be something to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, and you talked about how good that Bengals offense is. The Bills offense, though, after last week's performance, the rushing attack is back.
It is.
They decided to finally, go down that route of not trying to rely on Josh Allen's arm and really focus on the running attack. Had the best rushing performance by a team in a single game at it's not Heinz Field anymore. It's Acrisure Field or whatever, something like that. Something related to those lines. They went there, the Steelers home, and I dominated on the ground, 249 rushing yards.
They did, and we're going to get to later on the Steelers versus Ravens matchup and more into the Steelers, but kind of pointing that out, that we kind of exposed that Steelers defense, in particular on the outside, with our rushing attack. And inside as well. We ran like the same play. I kept seeing all over my social media. We ran the same play 30 times.
Yeah.
And it was effective with 2 backup tackles on top of that with Vandemark and Anderson. So it was definitely a good, sign to see that next man step up against TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, both very good edge rushers. But maybe that played into our favor running the ball and not really allowing them to really pass rush, which what they're really known for.
Yeah.
And I think this Bills offense is still good. Obviously, they put up almost 30 points a game.
Yeah.
So despite maybe the media and on the outside looking in,
and a lot of critics, especially in the media, making big statements like, "Yeah, this Bills offense looks, not really good," but on paper, the offense is still putting up points. They're still putting up yards. They're still putting up touchdowns. They're still converting on third downs. They're still doing their job. It's just not as efficient as it used to be.
And Coleman, despite all the criticism he got, he did score a touchdown. And kind of what I said earlier in the podcast, I think he's more of a red zone threat and maybe more of a pass the 50-yard line kind of player than your traditional Navy number one. Because let's face it, at this point, at this time right now, he's not a number one. It's just a reality. But he is a really good jump ball contested guy, which he was in college. And we saw multiple times this season when he's in the red zone, he's very effective using his size and body in his favor. And without all the criticism, he's leading the Bills receiving core in touchdowns with 4.
Yeah.
Not including Dalton Kincaid,
which is still a really low number,
Mm-hmm.
especially for any NFL wide receiving core. I mean, you're on the same number of touchdowns as like, a Jets or maybe a Falcons. But obviously the Falcons have Drake London. He's really good in his own right. But, the Bills haven't really had like that number one guy, that true number one receiver that can get them over the hump in the passing game. So it's going to come down to like what they did against Pittsburgh. They're going to have to dominate on the ground. Josh Allen and James Cook are going to have to use their legs to win football games for the Bills down the stretch.
Which then opens up the passing game with those play actions that they'll have to do, the tight ends. And that's why I said getting Dalton Kincaid, he is the biggest X factor to this Bills passing attack. More than Shakir now at this point.
He only needs to be in for like 25-30% of the snaps, and he can get like, 6-7 catches and like over 100 yards and maybe a touchdown or two. Like, he is that impressive even on such a low snap count.
He is. So what do you think about this game? Who you got coming out of it?
Who do I got coming out of it? I'm going to take the Bills.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm looking at the Bengals defense, I can't trust it. I can't trust it in any scenario. Run, pass, special teams. I can't trust them anywhere. They're not that good of a team. They're not what they, used to be defensively. That they used to have a solid defense, especially when they went to the Super Bowl. Solid defense. A lot of like, not like the biggest names in the NFL. Like, you obviously have Trey Hendrickson, who's obviously gotten better and better as his career's gone here.
Jordan Battle.
Yeah, Jordan Battle. Obviously a very criticized player, especially when he was on the team back in the Super Bowl. His name's Eli Apple. You will have to make fun of him, but that's, he was a good player back then. And then you had, Von Bell. You had Jesse Bates at one point, but he's gone. So, I mean, like,
He also got traded.
So, I mean, they're not like the defense they used to be, obviously. They're very, very exposed. They have a lot of holes, especially like D-line outside of Trey Hendrickson. Like, they thought Jamar Stewart was going to be something spectacular, and he only has one sack this year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty rough after the guy was the last not the last free agent, the last draft pick to finally sign to his rookie deal, last first-round draft pick. Right. And he held out for a while, which was really strange for a rookie to do. Usually they sign that contract immediately. So yeah, adding on to that, like I'm taking the Bills. I think they win. I don't know if it's gonna be a high scoring battle because it's obviously Buffalo, freezing cold. It's gonna be windy. It's been windy here all week, so I'm assuming it's gonna be windy Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Bills, like maybe 27-23.
Gotcha. And I'm on the same path as you. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. In particular, they're at home, and they rarely lose at home. In recent years, they've lost one game into New England this year, and then before that, you could go all the way back to 2023 when they lost a home game. So that's a big part of it. And I think, like you said, this defense for Cincinnati is very vulnerable, and I think running the ball is just going to open up that passing attack. And if Kincaid is back, it's going to make that much better. So I have the Bills taking this game as well. Final score for me, I think it's going to be, I think the Bills could honestly score 33 points, and I think it's going to be 33-14 or 33-21. It's going to be Buffalo.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, we obviously have to talk about the NFL in general. We just can't talk about the Bills. That's too biased for us. So let's talk about a very interesting game. The Kansas City Chiefs at a 500 record of 6-6.
Yeah.
Are heading on the road to take on, maybe the hottest defense in the NFL, the 7-5 Houston Texans. What are your thoughts on this game? Just from a glance, Julian.
From a glance, looking into it, the Chiefs right now, you could say this is their season on the line in a sense. Because losing this game, you can definitely say they might not make the playoffs. And then you go into the fact now that it's the Chiefs, maybe not like the Mahomes era, because Mahomes is always going to be around because that's how good he is. But maybe the Chiefs dynasty, as we see it now, the current landscape is going to be kind of dismantled because now Travis Kelce might retire, Chris Jones might retire. And on top of that, Andy Reid, he might, he's getting up there.
He's getting up there. He's been in the league for a long time. He's been a head coach since
he's a great coach.
1999.
No question. He's a great coach, great coordinator, knows how to call plays. But this could definitely be one of those scenarios where if you lose, I think the season could be over. Maybe this Chiefs team, as we see it now, getting older, a lot of them overpaid and maybe seen new moves. But then we go on the Texans side. After starting 0-3,
they've been really hot.
They've been hot ever since.
Yeah, they've found even when they've had injuries, they missed out on C.J. Stroud for a few weeks because he had a concussion, pretty severe concussion. Usually players will get through that in a week and they'll be out of the protocol. But no, C.J. Stroud had the concussion protocol for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Even without him, when they had Davis Mills as a starter, I mean, they beat Buffalo.
Yeah, they did.
They beat the Bills. They also beat, I believe, with Davis Mills, they beat the Jaguars. Which is another good team. They're 8-4. They're a real competitor. We'll talk about them later on here in the podcast. But this Texans team, they go off fight. They do not quit in any game, even if it's a low score. They will stay in it no matter what.
And they're bringing back that mindset. Defense wins championship, and this defense is no joke by any means. They got everything you want. They got edge rushers with Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson.
They got the defensive backs that most defensive coordinators would dreamed at.
Derek Stingley. They have Cameron Bullock. And then their Mike linebacker, Al-Shaair. This defense is no joke. And going against this Chiefs offense, which this offensive line, since these last couple of seasons under Mahomes, has been questionable, to say the least. And they drafted Josh Simmons to address that.
And now he's out. He just got placed back in IR. He's going to be out for another 4 weeks.
Right.
So you miss out on that guy. And they signed the likes of Dan Moore Jr. Obviously, really hasn't even done much. He's been a starter for like a couple games, I think. And then I think he's probably going to have to start this coming weekend here against the Texans. But, I mean, their offensive line, especially tackles, I mean, Jawan Taylor is really the only guy they have, and he's been prone to, he's Mr. Offsides, as we like to say.
When you watch a Chiefs game, it seems like every other play, he's either offside or false start.
Yeah, you can tell. If you slow it down, he jumps almost every play.
So, it's annoying to watch because it's happening. That he's doing it. It's just they can't call it every every time.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Yeah. So this game is in Kansas City.
Is it in Kansas City?
It is.
It is in Kansas City?
Your boy, Chris Collinsworth, is calling the game.
I'm not going to comment. I don't know if I call him my boy. I think he's just, it's always funny to watch him, I'll say glaze Mahomes. He definitely, he has this thing with Mahomes. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to get into it. But, no, I really agree with you on the whole point of the Chiefs not really being the team they used to be. It's just not the team that we remember. This team used to. I mean, we're Bills fans. We obviously remember 13 seconds and everything. They used to dominate.
Right.
I mean, every game. I mean, last year we kind of could tell they've really regressed, especially scoring. And they're playing one-score games. They obviously had the NFL record for winning one-score games consecutively.
Right.
I believe 17 games?
Yeah,
which is crazy. But they're not the same team they used to. They can't produce offensively the same way they could. Mahomes used to always be really good on the deep ball. But it's just I don't really know what to say about the Chiefs right now, especially if they lose this weekend against the Texans. I think you might be saying the season's over.
Right.
I think it might. I think especially with how competitive the AFC is, it's done.
And the Texans have a lot to play for too, because they're a game out of the division race right now between the Colts and Jaguars, who are tied 8-4, and the Colts have slipped these last two games as they're starting 8-2.
Think about all the wild card teams.
Yeah.
Bills, Jaguars, Colts. Or is the Jaguars
no,
divisional?
The Jaguars are divisional. It's Chargers, Colts, Bills.
They have tiebreakers that I know of over two of those teams, the Bills and the Colts, because they just beat the Colts, right? Mm-hmm. So they have tiebreakers there.
In the Jaguars.
And they have a tiebreaker over the Jaguars. They win this game. They're in serious contention for the division. It feels like they come out nowhere too. They have, the past couple years they've had 2 10-7 seasons.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy record-wise, but they always play well. They're always a contender when it matters most.
They are. And you can even say the same about the Chiefs right now, because they've lost a bunch of tiebreakers to the Bills, to the Jaguars, to the Chargers, to Denver even. And really the only team that they don't have that they have the tiebreaker over themselves is the Colts. But the Colts could just win the division and automatically be in. So really, this Chiefs right now, these next stretch of games is do or die right now.
Yeah.
So I guess this game, how do you see it kind of ending?
How do I see it kind of ending?
How do you think, what's the final score you think going to be?
Chiefs are going to fall to 6-7. I'm gonna take this Houston team. I mean, we saw what, like the Cowboys. Obviously, the Cowboys offense is a lot different than this Houston offense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Houston in a 17-13 football game. Very low score.
Yeah.
I don't think Mahomes. I think at this point in his career, Mahomes is not going to be as effective against this defense than people might think. I think it's going to be very low score for the Chiefs. It's going to come down to, like the final drive like it usually does in every Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Even though they're losing games this year, it always comes down to that final drive. And they've been really kind of iffy and like one-score games. I mean, the only team they've really beaten in one-score game this year, especially in the final 2 minutes, is the Colts.
Yeah.
And the Colts are the only team they beat. So I'm taking the Texans.
Gotcha.
17-13.
I'm gonna be taking the Chiefs on this route
You're taking the Chiefs.
because there's three main reasons. One, they're at home, and that's a tough.
I mean, the
environment.
Arrowhead's always a tough area to play at.
Two, I think that Chiefs defense is gonna really because besides Nico Collins, who do you really have to worry about on that offense?
I mean, if it was 3 years ago,
Yeah,
Nick Chubb and Christian Kirk, but they're
Yeah.
not what they used to be. They're good doctrine players, right? They're good role players,
right.
but they're not gonna take you to the next level.
Yep.
The only guy in that offense that can do that right now is Nico Collins.
Right. And we've seen this matchup before in the playoffs last year where the Texas defense played good, but the Texas offense was so bad.
Yeah.
Giving up
It's-
almost 10 sacks.
This game's gonna come down to the Texans just doing enough,
Yep.
like they've been doing ever since. I mean, they went 0-3.
Yep.
They've been doing just enough to get by.
Yep.
They got to do that. They have to have that mentality yet again that they just have to do enough offensively to help their defense out, because their defense, they can handle this Chiefs offense. I truly believe that this Texas defense is legit. They are the number one defense in the NFL right now for a reason.
They are. And I guess my final score for the game, I think it's going to be 24-21 going to Kansas City. And I think really the main thing with this game is these two teams, even though the record is the record, I think they're still a dangerous 7 seed.
Yeah.
Or even 6 seed because playing Kansas City in general,
In the playoffs is based on the past record is never a good thing.
it is
ever.
And then this Texans defense, I feel like you don't want to go against either, especially all the offenses that are out there, like Denver's offense. New England's is good, but we don't really know. Obviously, Buffalo, we saw what happened, and then we'll maybe see what and then Baltimore too. We'll see. But do you think the Texans would do you think the Texans or Chiefs are more dangerous if they get in the playoffs? Who's more dangerous?
Defense wins championships.
Right.
A couple years ago, I would say the Chiefs. Maybe even just last year, based on their one score, craziness that we saw from them.
Right.
I would have said the Chiefs. I'm taking the Texans now.
Taking the Texans.
I'm not scared of that Chiefs team. I mean, a lot of people start like they're the Kansas City Chiefs. They're gonna come through. No, that's over. That's gone. That's yesterday.
And I do agree with you as well. I think the Texans are more dangerous just because of that defense.
That defense.
And they produce points in general, or they help offense produce.
If I'm a high-scoring offense in the AFC, I do not want to face that Texas team.
Right.
If your offense is the only way you win games, you'll lose every time the Texas team, because the Texas team knows how to beat these high-powered offenses.
They do.
All right, so now let's switch over to some more NFL stuff. We got a lot more to actually cover.
Right. A lot of division matchups and definitely a lot of pivotal games that can swing the playoff picture as we know it right now.
Yep. All right, like I said, divisional games matter.
Yes, they do.
We have a lot of them this weekend, and they're all super important. You got the Steelers in Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Both teams are 6-6. They are both, I would say, tied for first place in their division. Whoever comes out of that game, is going to be the first place in the AFC North, and whoever is out of that is 6-7 and out of the playoffs.
Right, and both of these teams have the opposite reactions. The Steelers' offense is horrendous.
Yeah,
But then the Ravens' defense is horrendous.
I will say this though: the Ravens defense has gotten better, except for last week. Joe Burrow annihilated them
With a turf toe.
with the turf toe, and Evan McPherson
Yeah.
had a crazy game kicking at 20 points.
If you went against them in fantasy, I am truly sorry.
Yeah, he had a great game. So, I mean, outside of that weekend though, like the reason that Baltimore's back in the picture here and this game is happening is because of one, the Steelers are not good. sorry, Sean Bonacci, but the Steelers really, really aren't good. Welcome to 9-8 territory. You're there. You're going to be 9-8. Be happy with it. But Baltimore, their defense has been playing so well that it has pushed them back into this, into this scenario where the division's still up for grabs. They can still get it here.
They can. And as we have Lamar Jackson in the graphic, and rightfully so, it's Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. Could have maybe won it last year. Josh Allen deserved it. But this year has not looked great, other than really 2 games, one against the Bills and then against Miami.
And let's not forget he was hurt for a while.
Right. So I feel like he's playing hurt right now. I feel like, granted, maybe this offense is not really as good as maybe we thought. I mean, Derrick Henry's still putting up the numbers.
2 things I'll note about Lamar's game since he's come back from injury. 1, he's a little slower than he usually is. His reactions, his timing on throws, a little off, right? I mean, that happens with most players when they're hurt, unless you're like Tom Brady. It comes back from injury and plays like the greatest player ever played.
Yeah.
No, like no glaze or anything. I'm just speaking. It's true. But no, Lamar is not. He's not playing up to the standards, and he kind of has a limp. He really is actually playing through injury.
He's like, he has a limp.
He does. I don't know if you noticed when he's walking back to the huddle.
Yeah.
Like NBC obviously loves to show players and they're walking back to the huddle after a play. I don't know why they do that, but it's just their thing, cinematic, right? Like absolute cinema. But
yeah,
he doesn't look right.
Right.
Something is really off. It's the same thing like Burrow. Burrow's playing through an injury, and obviously only seen 1 game, so we don't obviously know what
the full happened.
Well, the full extent of his injury and how bad it is with turf toe. Turf toe is obviously a really bad injury, but something is really going on with Lamar here.
Yeah,
he is really hurt, and I think the Ravens are really pushing playing these guys.
And I feel like a big thing to highlight both of these teams is that both fan bases, I feel like, are getting tired of both of these coaches. More Mike Tomlin, I would say John Harbaugh, but even then, John Harbaugh has had teams that are phenomenal. Like Lamar Jackson's first MVP season, they won 14-2 or 15. They almost won 15 games, I believe.
Yeah, but then that year, that was the 2019 season.
And then they lose to the Titans.
In the jungle. Fashion division to Derrick Henry, who is now on the Ravens.
And then you have the Steelers, who since 2016 have not yet won a playoff game. And you would think a team with a head coach for 10 years that haven't won a playoff game, they would get fired. But because it's Mike Tomlin and the resume that he does have, they're not going to
fire a losing season.
So both of these teams are kind of not just really playing for the division, but maybe even people playing for their jobs. Because both these teams have had success in the last 20 years. Ravens have won 2 Super Bowls. Steelers have made it to 2 Super Bowls, won 1, lost 1. But we'll see what really is going to happen. I feel like that's the big overall picture here.
Yeah, and another thing that happened for Pittsburgh, too, I know we've been talking about how horrendous their offense has been, but their defense lost a key veteran, Gary Slay. Didn't play against Buffalo, was inactive, was a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Released by the Steelers, I believe, Tuesday. And then yesterday, the Bills claimed him.
Yep.
And then out of nowhere today, in true Bill style, says that he's going to step away from football for a few days and announce if he wants to, continue with retirement or not. I want to ask you this, Julian. Do you think he's trying to get the Bills to cut him so he can go back to Philly?
That's honestly a good scenario. I would say yes, and because the only reason is, besides Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean is good, but he also has this time where he struggles. Adoree Jackson's awful. Yeah. He is terrible. He's bad.
They have the other guy, Keelan Ringo.
Yeah,
and he's not good. He's just like a guy you could bring in here and there.
So
do a break.
I think adding him back, because he knows the system, he knows the Vic Fangio system, it's gonna be great. So I think yes, I feel like that's a part of it, but maybe another part of it too is similar with Tre'Davious White on the Bills. I think he's far past his prime at this point, and it's sad to say and see it,
because Darius Slay used to be one of the top corners.
Right, he was one of the top corners.
He was in Detroit to start his career, and then obviously he goes to Philly, and he's really good in both places. But
right,
off season, did he get traded to Pittsburgh? I believe he got traded, or was he signed?
He was signed.
He was signed through free agency.
Yeah,
he signed through free agency to Pittsburgh. Had an okay start, but obviously the Steelers' defense has been skeptical.
Yeah,
You're usually known for having great defenses, but this year has been
up and down.
up and down. And he was part of the down part. Just not the same player he was last year when obviously he won a Super Bowl. That was his all-time peak in his career, and now he's contemplating retirement, which is really sad. But that's what happens to all football players, sadly.
So with this game being a divisional game, it's probably one of the better rivalries in the NFL. A lot of people say it's the best rivalry, traditional. Who do you have coming out of this one? See, like Mike Tomlin has a great record against Baltimore, but I don't know. It's Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
These teams are so hurt.
Yeah,
it is so hard. Like Rodgers playing through a fractured left hand with 3 fractured bones.
Yep,
has literally had a cast on his hand. Might not have that next week. We'll see. And obviously, I think he broke his nose too.
Yep.
So he's playing through a lot of injuries. Same with Lamar. I think the Steelers' defense is just going to be good enough to help them win Sunday. I think I'm taking the Steelers.
Taking the Steelers.
They're gonna get back in the win column. They're gonna turn this around. They're gonna do what they usually do. 10-7 or 9-8. That's what they always do.
Yeah.
That's the Steelers we live with right now. I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Okay, and I agree with you as well. I'm taking the Steelers just because of 2 things. Lamar does not have a good record against the Steelers. And on top of that, his mobility is what's his strong suit, and he can't really work with that. And besides Zay Flowers, I do not really trust on a consistent level this outside group because Mark Andrews is good, but
and DeAndre Hopkins is another player way past his prime. Like he's just out there, to like.
And in the last year too, the Steelers played Derrick Henry pretty well for the most part until there was the playoff game, but in the regular season they played him pretty well. So I also got the Steelers. I think this final score is gonna be. I think it's gonna be 17-13.
17-13?
Yes.
Chris Boswell. Only year 16 Pittsburgh. I think they score a little more than that. I mean, I do think Aaron Rodgers still has a little bit left. I don't think it's enough for another year. I think this is going to be it for him. But I'm taking 20. I'm going to do 20-16 Pittsburgh. I think that's the score.
And then final thing before we switch to Colts and Jaguars, which coach is more likely to either get fired or to leave? John Harbaugh or Mike?
See, I don't know if either of them are going to get fired this offseason. I think they're both going to eventually resign and maybe retire. I mean, think about how long they've both been in the league for.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting up there towards that, like, I mean, obviously they're not Andy Reid territory. It's not like, the 8 years on top of that, but like Tomlin was 06 and then Harbaugh was 08?
I believe so.
I believe he was 08. Because that was the first year of Joe Flacco. I think Steelers go a couple more years of this 9-8, and I mean they might lose next year because obviously I don't think Rodgers is gonna come back. I just think this is it for him.
Yeah, I might go to Cancun.
Tomlin's the first one gone. I think the Steelers finally decide to pull a trigger. Time to get a new head coach. It's been too long of them being mediocre at worst, but like decent at best.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of both the same things, but they're always middle of the pack, and they never can get over that hump to be like an actual good team again, like they were when Ben Roethlisberger was his prime.
And I think it's Tomlin as well, just because at least with Harbaugh, he's won some playoff games in these last couple seasons. After it was beforehand too, it's similar where you couldn't win with Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson would struggle. But then these last couple years, they've been a lot better in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs, and they could have won it if it wasn't for almost a Zay Flowers fumble. So I agree with you as well, because Tomlin has just been too mediocre and really not a threat.
Yeah. So let's switch gears. Yeah, obviously have 2 more other games up there, obviously, to talk about, and they're both really important in their own respects. 8-4 Colts at the 8-4 Jaguars. Colts obviously playing, again, every team feels that they're playing through the injury game. Daniel Jones, obviously big surprise story this year, might be up for comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Might be the leading candidate for that right now, playing through a fractured fibula, believe in his right leg, his planting leg. Not good for a quarterback, especially when you have that issue. He doesn't have the mobility he once had. That's part of his game too, just like Lamar, in a different sense though with his mobility. Like he likes to roll out and throw. He's not, He likes to run up the middle sometimes and get the yards he needs. He can't do that.
Right.
So that's how the Colts, obviously, last week they lost to Houston 20-16, I believe, in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go into Jacksonville.
Yep.
Against a very hot Jaguars team who's coming off, I believe they just played the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They won that game in pretty dominating fashion. Then the week before that was the Chargers game. I mean, one dominating fashion. That was even more dominant. That was just unreal.
Yeah.
How bad that Chargers offense was against the Jaguars. So the defense is obviously very good because the Cardinals obviously have been a lot better since they had Jacoby Brissett. Their offense, I mean, he set the record for most completions in an NFL game this year. I mean, the Cardinals have been a better offense. I wouldn't say they're elite, but they're still good. They're still an NFL team. You still have to play them. So in that game, I'm gonna take the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I can't trust the Colts with an injured Daniel Jones right now. I loved the Colts early on in the year, and also Jonathan Taylor hasn't played up to the standards that I thought he would be this year after such a great start. I mean, he went into that Berlin game and had a great game, and after that, he's been iffy.
I'm taking the Jaguars as well because the Colts, in particular, they haven't beat Jacksonville and Jacksonville almost over 10 years, or at least over 10 years. It's been. I think the last quarterback to beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville was Andrew Luck.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it's been a while. And Jacksonville with Liam Cohen, they kind of have like a new energy to them.
They find ways to win differently every week.
They do.
I mean, I feel like at times they have one of the most dominant 1-2 running back punches in the league with Bishal Tutton and what's his name, and Travis Etienne, who obviously they drafted along with Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, we have him in the draft. Okay, hope I would not forget his name, but they find ways to win. I mean, against the Cardinals, Lawrence, who has been heavily criticized as not living up to the standard. Obviously, it's a double pick. He should be a lot better than he is. He's still a good quarterback, and he still had a really good game against the Cardinals.
And the acquisition of Jacoby Myers has been very good.
Very good.
Because it's opened up this passing attack, and it's opening up with Ryan Thomas and him. And Trevor Lawrence looks a lot more comfortable to throw with the players.
He looks, it's good that they have him because obviously they lost Travis Hunter, who was their top pick. They traded up for him in shocking fashion in the draft earlier this year.
And also Sauce Gardner.
No, see, Sauce Gardner might be out. He injured his hamstring. He had a calf strain.
Right, captured. So he's going to be out for this game, and he could be potentially almost out for the season.
Yeah, which is really bad news for the Colts after they traded 2 of their first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Was a very interesting trade. We talked about it on, I believe, episode 2 of the podcast. Episode 2. Make sure you watch episode 2. I have to plug at least once time. I have to do it once.
So I would take the Jaguars as well. I think final score is going to be 27-17. I think the score is going to look closer, but I think it's going to be a more dominant performance because it's in Jacksonville, and the Colts could just never beat them in Jacksonville.
I'm going to take, I didn't say my score. I'll take it 23-13. I just think,
similar 10 points.
The Colts, 13-16 points. With an injured Daniel Jones, that pushing things. I'd really feel like, I know the Colts fan base has given up on him, but I feel like you got to give Anthony Richardson one game, especially since he's healthy.
Yeah.
And he's back on the facilities, and he's back with the team and actually doing stuff compared to earlier on in the year when he was people thought he was going to get traded. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe in the offseason he's let go. We'll see. But I feel like, especially with Jones there, I would rather sit him for a week, let that fibula at least heal a little bit. And then try to run this offense through Anthony Richardson and try to, he was always good with the deep bumps. Let him throw those balls. Let him try to get, the deep plays and score points. Maybe it puts you in the contention to win a game like this.
Yeah.
Especially down the stretch here.
Real quick, do you think the Colts make or miss the playoffs?
They'll make it.
Okay.
I think at least they're a wild card team. I still think they can fight for their division.
We can.
But they're going to
start this week.
This starts this week. You got to win. And I don't know. Obviously, my choice is Jacksonville. So I don't think they're going to be able to do it, but who knows? I mean, Shane Steichen's been really good this year. They had a really good year, really good turnaround year, especially in a year where they lost their owner and Jim Irsay. So this has been a good year for the Colts. One last game we got to talk about: Chicago versus Green Bay.
The Bears.
A rivalry, and has always been owned by Green Bay because Green Bay's always been the daddy of Chicago. It's been not even close for the past 15 years. You finally noticed that, didn't you? But I said that. Yeah. The Bears, though, look a lot better.
They do.
They look like a true contender. Caleb Williams with this Bears team that's been playing great. The defense and the offense have been playing great, both sides of the ball. Go into Philly, very, very much like a top 3 hostile environment in the offense.
Yeah.
Maybe the worst place to play outside of Arrowhead. Obviously, Bills fans don't. We hate 13 seconds. It happened. Really, really bad place in Arrowhead to play, but Philly's up there. And they win pretty convincingly, 24-15, I believe. Really shut down Saquon Barkley, offensive player of the year, I believe, last year, was it not? Very convincing, their 9-3 record. But outside of that Eagles game, they played a lot of teams that are not like really high up there. They played the Niners. But outside of that, outside the Eagles and the Niners, not a lot of other really great teams.
Yeah.
But this Green Bay team, they're still good.
Yep.
They're still 8-3-1.
That one. Ugh.
Yeah, the one that the
So
ties
disgusting.
the ties infuriate me, but we're gonna let it go.
That could be another segment for another.
Green Bay is in a very interesting spot because I think their offense, obviously, this is a meme, but it actually is true. I saw a stat about this. Jordan Love during Toyotathon, he always advertised for Toyotathon every year. He's like their big spokesperson in the Green Bay area. Whenever Toyotathon is on, he has a record of 33 passing touchdowns and only 1 turnover. 1 pick. That's it. In his entire career during Toyotathon. He is a different player during that stretch, which it makes no sense. Because he's had an iffy year. He's been labeled as, people have been trying to differentiate between him as either being a great quarterback, like, the Burrows, the Allens, the Mahomes, the Jacksons.
Right.
Or is he just a good quarterback like a Jalen Hurts? Caleb Williams is on that level right now. Caleb could be better than that soon. But is he on that level of good or great? I mean, this is a very intriguing matchup because this is also for the division.
Yeah.
I mean, Bears win this. They're technically up by a game and a half, 2 games.
You're right.
They'd be 10-3, and the Packers would fall to 4-1.
Right.
Especially with the tie, it really, 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 really hurts this Packers team for winning the division if they lose this weekend.
Yeah, I think this is a tough one because I do think, like you said, the Bears haven't really played anybody but other than the Niners and the Eagles, and they've looked good. Definitely on the offensive side too, running the ball. That run game is elite, and with Monungai and DeAndre Swift, and they're really creative, obviously with Ben Johnson at the helm. But I'm gonna take Green Bay in this game.
Yeah,
it's at Lambeau, tough place to play, and I think Chicago's kind of riding high right now, and I feel like it can only continue so much. And with a team like Green Bay, who's established, with Matt LaFleur, who's been to the playoffs, experience, he's kind of the more experienced Ben Johnson, really. I'm taking Green Bay for 2 reasons. One, I don't think the Bears have gone against a pass rush quite like a Micah Parsons level quite yet this season. I mean, obviously they played Aiden Hutchinson, but I think Micah Parsons is on a different level.
Yeah.
And I also think having a back like Josh Jacobs, because let's face it, the Eagles right now, they do not use Saquon Barkley.
Their offensive line is now what it used to be. We talked about this. I believe we talked about it. What episode was it? Episode 3 of Galactic Sports Talk. Make sure you watch that episode so you understand what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so they know how to utilize a good run game. And yes, in Lambeau. So I'm going to take the Packers here. I'm taking them to win this game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring-ish. I'm going to take it 23-17.
That was the one thing that I noticed about the Bears that they struggle with, the passing game. I know Philly, not a great place to play at. Josh Allen had a very interesting game there a few years ago. We all remember that game. High score, win to OT, Bills lost.
You just love to bring up these bad losses.
I'd love to bring up the bad losses. I hope someday, just hear me out. I hope someday that with all these bad losses being brought up, we'll finally win the games that we know we should win.
Yeah, maybe.
Like this Texans game a few weeks ago that the Bills should win. Make sure you watch episode 3 of Galactic Sports Talk. We talk about that. Plug in again. I I like the high energy. You said that they're riding the high energy. I like it. I'm picking the Bears.
Okay.
I think this is it. They finally found the recipe for success. I will take them in a 24-23 win. They're gonna win a close one. It's gonna be. I mean, Jordan loves a different animal during Tony overtime. I've already said it. I've already pointed out the stat. But I'm taking. I really do like this team right now. Their offense looks really good. They're playing good, either running the ball with Monongai and DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
They've both been really good. And then their defense is good. I know their linebackers are really banged up. I mean, they don't have Tremaine Edmonds right now. But I mean, he's been the leader of their defense so far this year. But they still have like a good secondary. They got guys back. They have Kevin Byard, who's obviously in the later end of his career, just like like we mentioned, Darius Slay. Yeah, later end of his career, still having like a comeback year. He's up there for leading the league in picks this year. Kevin Byard. You still have Jalen Johnson. You have other guys too that are really good. You have Jaquan Brisker. This is a good team. They will play you tough. They're not like the best team in the NFL, but I'm taking this Bears team. Okay, this is the year.
And in this segment, we're gonna be doing the Star Wars draft.
That was great. Yeah, I know.
So how this is gonna work? We're gonna draft. It's gonna be like an almost NBA style, NFL style draft, but we're gonna be drafting one Jedi, one Sith, one blaster character, one army battalion like clones, droids, Mandalorian, Night Sisters, etc. One ship, so like a X-wing, a fighter jet, any kind of anything that classifies as a ship. And then we're gonna have a wild card where it could be any of the other options that I just mentioned. With that being said, do you want to rock, paper, scissors for who gets the first pick?
Absolutely.
Yes! Yes!
All right.
All right. So, with the number 1 overall pick in the Galactic Sports Talk Star Wars draft, I'm going to be taking Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. So it's your Sith.
That's my Sith.
That's your Sith. Okay. All right. That's a good choice. Why would you pick Darth Vader?
It's Darth Vader.
Okay. That's fair enough.
And by the way, since you're second, you get the first pick next. So you get back-to-backs.
Okay.
Make it more fair.
With my first pick, I'm going to be selecting as my army battalion.
Wow.
I'm selecting the Mandalorians.
Ooh.
This is for my brother. This is for you, Calvin. I got you. I'm picking them because they're the fiercest warriors in the galaxy.
They are.
I think if you put them up, if you put a whole army, same amount of people, Mandalorians and clones, Mandalorians win every time.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, they just do.
Got you. That's a good pick. That's an underrated. I thought you would
think about it. They have bullet penetrating.
They do. Yeah, they have
like
Beskar.
Like they can fight. They can kind of defend themselves from saber wielders, but
they can fly.
They can fly too. Some of them can fly. That's what I'm picking. I want the Mandalorians. I want my army. I want my muscle to start this draft here. And then since we're doing a round robin, I'm gonna pick next. With my next pick, I need some more fire. I'm picking my Jedi. I'm picking Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
all right. I want some fierce fire.
You want the chosen
underneath my roster? Yes, I want the chosen.
I have the chosen one too. I have the different one.
You have a different chosen one. You have the one that destroyed the prophecy.
Well, he ended up doing it until Palpatine returned, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't talk about that part of the universe, that other thing, garbage.
All right, so Jack, interesting. So how come you picked Anakin? Is it just because he's the chosen one?
Chosen one, and also come on, before he turned to the Sith, he never lost a battle.
Yeah,
I want that. I want that on my roster.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna take a blaster character.
Okay.
And you can go many ways here. Many different ways. I think I'm gonna take it's a toss between a couple people. I'm gonna take Cad Bane.
Okay. All right. Why Cad Bane though?
Because he's one of the most, if not the most dangerous bounty hunter in the galaxy, besides maybe Boba Fett. But he was before Boba Fett, and he was at a time when it was harder to do what he did than Boba Fett. So I'm gonna take him because of that, and he can also fight with a sword as well.
Okay.
So that's why I'm taking him, and he's got all the gadgets in the world.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna take my Jedi. Give me Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
Give me Samuel Jackson.
There we go.
For 2 reasons. One, because he's got a purple lightsaber.
Yeah. Goated. Yeah. Like. Also, he killed Jango Fett.
He did kill Jango Fett.
Best part of the Star Wars universe ever. Ask my brother. It's his favorite scene. Favorite scene.
Really, that's cool. And then on top of
that,
that,
you're sarcastic. Oh. He's a big Fett supporter.
Uh,
He hates that scene. This is the worst scene. Yep. You just disrespected him, Julian.
how do you feel? Sorry, Calvin.
Calvin.
Sorry, Calvin.
Yeah.
If you're watching this,
Yeah.
maybe. And also because he has a force power. Basically, when he fights a dark side character, he gets stronger because he uses the dark side himself. That's why his lightsaber is purple, because it's red and blue make purple. So he kind of uses the dark side as well, but not to the extent of revenge and power, but the more in the sense of for defense.
Yep.
So that's why I'm going to take him.
I'll pick my blaster character, and I'll explain why. I already picked my army battalion as the Mandalorians. I gotta pick the Mandalorian. I need the main character in the universe of the Mandalorians, the Mandalorian. I have to pick him.
Nice.
Why do I pick him?
Why?
He's a blaster character. But he also for
Darksaber?
a bit for a bit he carried the Darksaber. I want the Darksaber on my roster.
The Darksaber automatically gives you aura.
It gives you aura. It's the cool outside of the purple lightsaber, coolest lightsaber in the universe.
I agree. That's a good pick, Dale.
Yeah. So do I have another pick? I do have another pick. Ooh, so I need a Sith, a ship,
Then we have a wild.
and then a wild card of whoever I wanted. Oh man. For my Sith, this is gonna be a wild one. You're gonna think this one's funny. I'm picking Darth Plagueis. I want the ability to heal. I'm picking Darth Plagueis. He's the healer, bro.
Have you ever?
He's gonna be
tragedy.
Darth Plagueis. Hear me out. Darth Plagueis. All his inventory is gonna be his chug jugs.
Oh my god. But also on a real note, he did train Palpatine. So
He did train Palpatine, who is widely considered the greatest villain in the entire universe.
and the most powerful,
So
character.
imagine how powerful Darth Plagueis was. Just imagine.
Yeah,
And probably more powerful than Palpatine.
maybe. Palpatine did kill him. But
Palpatine did say he could heal anybody
Yeah,
from anything.
it's a good pick. All right. So I gotta take my army battalion. I'm gonna take the 501st Legion, which is Anakin's battalion
battalion, yeah.
with Rex. In particular, I have Rex on my side. But
Rex, Fives.
Rex,
Forget who else is on there. Battalion.
and
Echo.
Echo, yeah.
I mean, if you ever watch Star Wars Clone Wars, great series, but the 501st Battalion,
They're no joke.
no joke in that series.
They killed the Jedi and eventually
They did. They killed. Oh my God, they were so good. They were
killed the young.
sadly.
And then, I'm gonna take my ship here. I don't know if this classifies as a ship, so I'm gonna say it. Does the Death Star count as a ship?
No,
Dang it.
I think that's more of like a space station.
Okay.
So it really can't I mean, obviously it can propel itself,
Yeah.
but I think it's more temporary, or it doesn't move like a ship.
So then, if I'm not gonna take that, I'm gonna take that Super Star Destroyer and Empire Strikes Back.
All right. You know what? I like that pick. That's good.
Taking that because that ship not only is huge, but it has blasters everywhere, and it's very hard to. The only way it got destroyed was somebody sacrificed himself when the shields were down and blew up the cockpit, which crashed into the Death Star.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that.
I want speed. I want the fastest ship in the galaxy. I want the Millennium Falcon. Classic, obviously, right? Through almost every movie, besides the pre-trilogy era through episodes 1 through 3. But I'm taking the Millennium Falcon. I want the speed. I want to be a Willie Olick. Not get shot out of the sky by a superstar destroyer.
Yeah.
That'd be bad. So yeah, I'm picking William.
And I do have a tractor beam.
You have a tractor beam, but that doesn't matter.
You made the Kessel run.
You made the Kessel run. That doesn't matter.
All right, and then you have your wild cards.
I have my wild
It
card.
could be anything.
It could be anything.
Anything, anyone. Besides the Death Star. Because I think that's too OP. I didn't just
Like, see, this is tough because like I could pick anything I wanted.
Yep.
Like, oh man, I gotta do this one because I need the wisdom. I need somebody that can quarterback my roster to victory.
Oh no.
I'm picking Yoda.
Dang it. I wanted Yoda.
I want Yoda.
Hey, he took
I want Yoda. You can't take Yoda from me. I want Yoda.
Damn it.
My team is elite. My roster is elite. Go ahead, Julian. Make your
Maybe this is the Ben Quadinaro's pick here. No, I'm kidding. We're not taking Ben. Shout out Ben, though.
Did you just hear this, man? He was about to pick Ben.
No, I was not.
He was about to just make. That's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of that movie, the movie of Kevin Costner, the NFL draft movie, Draft Day, where he picks he picked like a nobody.
Yeah.
And like with the first pick, that's what you almost did with Ben. You almost made that.
See, I'm between two people. I'm not picking this guy. I was gonna originally, when I was thinking about this, take General Grievous.
Okay.
But I'm not going to anymore. Just because you picked Yoda, there's only one man that can combat Yoda. And you know who that is?
Who is that?
That's Palpatine.
You're gonna pick Emperor Palpatine. Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously
He's the only guy that can really go toe to toe and even beat him at times.
even beat him at times.
So I'm taking Palpatine.
Good pick.
So
So those are our teams. I hope you really enjoyed that because I did.
7-game series.
7-game
that.
7-game series. Who's taking that?
Yeah.
Come on. My team's taking that. Come on. You're gonna have Darth Vader's gonna get mobbed by all the Mandalorians I have.
That's not true.
No, it is.
Okay,
No,
that's not true.
mid.
I got Mace Windu.
Mace Windu's gonna get electrocuted or something. I don't know. He always like dies due to electrocution. I don't know. He literally let like lightning push him off a ledge. He let like a withering, dying Emperor Palpatine kill him. Like,
Yeah.
no, my team wins.
I have a Super Star Destroyer.
Don't care. I have Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon went into the middle of the second Death Star and destroyed it single-handedly. Remember that.
I guess so.
All it takes is me to go right through you. Like,
Dang it.
I have speed, you have size.
Did I lose this draft? You gotta let me know.
You got to let us know. Did he win the draft or did I win the draft? See, that's up for you guys to decide. We don't decide that. We can just have fun and beef with each other on who won the draft. But hope you guys really enjoyed that.
I did.
You did?
It was fun.
All right. Well, that's it for episode 4 of Galactic Sports Talk. We hope you guys enjoyed this today. We always do. Next week, obviously, we'll talk about, what happened last week in the NFL, or obviously what we talked about now. Obviously, all those big games.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff to talk about, and maybe we'll have a special guest on next week. We're getting to that point where we're ready to have somebody else on the show. Yeah. So that's it from us, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.